What is bonding? Atoms exist very rare in nature. Instead, anywhere from two to hundreds or thousands of atoms tend to join together to form compounds. For example, the oxygen we breathe, the oxygen we breathe consists of two oxygen atoms joined together. Now, why do atoms join together? They join together to form stable arrangements. Bonding is a very favorable process because it always forms a compound that is more stable than the atoms from which it is made. Now, only the noble gases in group 8A of the periodic table are stable as individual atoms. So that is why the noble gases do not readily react to form bonds. So therefore, all other elements, elements they gain, lose, or share electrons to attain stable noble gas configuration. Now, bonding involves only the valence electrons of an atom. There are two different kinds of bondings: ionic bonding and covalent bonding. Ionic bonds results from the transfer of electrons from metals to nonmetals. So, and covalent bonds are formed by the sharing of electrons between two nonmetals or a metalloid with a nonmetal. Now, given the formula, let's say if I give you NaCl and I say what kind of bonding is present between sodium and chlorine in this case, then it says sodium is a metal, chlorine is a nonmetal. In between metals and nonmetals is an ionic bond. Now, sodium is a metal, and metal lose electrons to become stable or to achieve noble gas configuration. So when metals lose electrons and they become positively charged. Why they become positively charged when they lose electrons? Because this Na plus sodium ion, which is now known as cation, this has fewer electrons than protons. Remember, it is losing electrons, so now it has one less electron. One less electron means one more proton, so that's why it's positively charged. On the other hand, chlorine, which is a non-metal, gains the electron to become stable, and when the neutral atom gains the electron, it becomes negatively charged. Why? Because we are adding the electron. When we are adding the electron, now this anion, negatively charged species are known as anions. Now this anion has more electrons than protons. Now this Na plus, Cl minus, oppositely charged species come closer, and we say the type of bonding between sodium and chlorine is ionic bonding. So in between metals and nonmetals is the ionic bonding. In between two nonmetals is the covalent bonding, which is formed by the sharing of electrons. Now, again, why elements losing or gaining electrons? To attain the electronic configuration of the noble gases. The main group elements, what are main group elements? 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A, 7A, 8A. These are known as main group elements. These elements are stable when there are 8 electrons present in their outermost shell. Except hydrogen. Hydrogen is stable when it has 2 electrons in its outermost shell. Now for metals in group 1A, what does it mean? Group 1A means it has 1 electron in the outermost shell. All the metals present in group 1A lose 1 electron to become stable, because when they lose 1 electron, for example sodium, when it loses 1 electron, then it has 8 electrons in its outermost shell. So all the elements present in group 1A has plus 1 charge. So sodium exists as Na plus, potassium exists as K plus, lithium exists as Li plus. All the elements present in group 2A have plus 2 charge. Why is that? Group 2A is beryllium, magnesium, calcium, and so on. Magnesium atomic number is 12. Its electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2. If magnesium loses these two electrons, then we can see there are 8 electrons present in the outermost shell, the second shell. So second A group has plus 2 charge, third A group plus 3 charge. Now fourth A group elements do not lose or gain electrons. Now 5, 6, 7A group, these are non-metals, and we saw in the previous slide that non-metals gain electrons. So 5A group means it has 5 electrons in the outermost shell. Remember, the group number represents the valence electrons. The group number represents the electrons present in the outermost shell. Now here, so group 5A means 5 electrons in the outermost shell. How many it needs more? It needs 3 more electrons. So all the elements in group 5A gain 3 electrons. Now when they gain 3 electrons, then the charge becomes -3. Why negative? Because now these elements have more electrons than protons. Similarly, group 6A have -2 charge, group 7A has -1 charge.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.